What's going on? This is SDG Physics. My name is Tosh Dalday, and I like Batman. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit a polynomial, and then we're going to try to get everything we can out of it. Alright, so we've got f of x equals to 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 1. And here's what I want to do. I want to just graph it as best as I can with just kind of everything I know about everything. Alright, so check this out. I'm going to set the graph up over here. I know what the what I can do is I can multiply this out. So I'm going to multiply this out. I'm going to FOIL these guys. So I've got my 2 f of x equals to 2 times the FOIL of this thing. So that would be x times x, that would be x squared plus x, because x times 1 is x, minus 3x minus 3. Alright? These guys in the middle can combine, and so I have 2 times x squared minus 2x, because x minus 3x is negative 2x minus 3. Put that right there. Then I can distribute in that 2 pretty simply. And so that would just be 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 equals f of x. Alright. What are some of the properties of this thing? Well, I know this is a parabola. Why? Because the degree of that polynomial is x squared. I know that I'm dealing with a parabola that is happy. It's also a skinnier parabola because of that number 2 out in front. I know that the x, the y intercept is negative 6, because if I plug in x equals 0 into here, I've got 0 minus 6. So I know that one point on this thing is negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down here. So that's what this thing tells me. This thing tells me I'm dealing with a parabola. This thing tells me I'm dealing with a happy parabola that is skinnier. What this tells me, see, these two are the same thing. And they give me different pieces of information. This is called standard form. This is called factored form. For graphing, I actually like both of them, because this tells me a little bit about the parabola. This also tells me a lot about the parabola. Because over here, you can solve for x. You can figure out what x is equal to if f of x is equal to 0. This tells me what the y-intercept is. If I want to get the x-intercepts, I set f of x equal to 0, or I set this whole thing equal to 0, and so I have 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 1 equals 0. Well, I can divide both sides by 2, and that just kills that, because 0 divided by 2 is still 0. Then I have x minus 3, x plus 1 equals 0. Either x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 1. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, or negative 1 back here, which kind of tells me my parabola looks something like this. Sorry, got a little sloppy towards the end right there. Now, from looking at this, without having a graphing calculator, I was able to tell you the x-intercepts. That's those guys right there. I was able to tell you the y-intercept. That's that guy right there. I was able to tell you whether or not this parabola, I was able to tell you the degree of the polynomial. In this case, we're dealing with a parabola because it's an x squared term. I was able to tell you whether or not it's opening up, and if at the end behavior, they're both going to be going up because it's an even degree, and the number 2 out there is actually scrunching up my parabola. Without using a graphing calculator, I just busted that out. This is what I want you guys to be able to do. Shoots, bro. Up out.